Hi guys.
Hi everyone, you're welcome back to our YouTube channel.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. My name is Taking Teaser.
And I'm Faith Teaser.
And together
we are the Teasers.
Yep.
Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning.
We have something exciting to share with you guys as always. And today we're talking about the golden principle of marriage. Yes, we're talking about the golden principle of marriage. So like every other thing you do in life, every other thing you engage in life, marriage also has that one thing that makes every other thing make sense. Do you understand? So for example, let me use a pot of soup now. For example, say in Nigeria, egusi soup. You know, I'm saying Nigeria because we have abroadians watching. Anyways, but before I continue, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please make sure you do so. Subscribe, hit the like button, share, comment, and also we want to give a special shout out today to another of our
amazing followers and
subscriber that comments often, and that is Thelma Ani.
Yes.
Thank you very much for all your support, your love. You're always commenting, you're always liking, you're always sharing, and you're always giving us great feedback.
Yeah.
Thank you. We appreciate you so much for always watching.
Yeah.
So next week we're going to give a special shout out to somebody. So make sure you share and like. You don't know the day that
and comments.
You don't know the day that will choose to be Father Christmas.
And they will start to share dollar bills.
Yeah. Yeah. It's coming.
It's coming.
I'm just waiting for the money. This in value to trust more. Anyways. So as I was saying, like a pot of soup, egusi soup, I was using as an example. Without the melon seed, the egusi seed, you can't have egusi soup. If you have everything, the vegetables, the
shaki,
everything,
all.
If you put all together without that melon seed, you're not making egusi soup. You're making something else.
Yeah.
So for marriage too, there's an element, a golden element, something that makes every other thing work.
Yeah.
And that principle is oneness. Oneness. And this applies to you whether you are dating, whether you are single, whether you are courting, or you are married.
Yeah.
Whatever category you belong to, an understanding of this principle makes your marriage heaven on earth.
Yeah.
And I just want to give a quick disclaimer. Yes, everything we are going to be saying is going to be guided by Christian doctrine. However, this truth also relates to the concept of marriage. Now, if you assume that, okay, marriage is not from Christian faith, marriage is not God's idea, which is not true, but if you assume that it is not, even from observing, people of other faith and people that don't believe in anything at all, which is not possible, you're believing in nothing is you're believing in something. In nothing. So everybody's a believer. You believe that there is no God, so you're a believer. So but whether you agree or not with our idea or our concept or presentation from the Christian faith, oneness is still true, notwithstanding.
Yeah.
Because if you two come together to marry and you don't understand that you are playing in the same team, you are working together for the goal of that both of you enjoy from, the overall goal where the marriage will become successful.
Yeah.
Then you may not have the best kind of union.
Yeah, and many times, as you just said now, if you don't understand that you're both a team, you would have that individualistic mindset in marriage and relationships, and then what starts to happen is that you think that you are winning against the other person. You think that your scores are counting in your favor against the other person, but at the end of the day, you both are in the relationship.
Yeah.
So if that person is going low in scores, in quotes, the whole relationship is losing. It's like you guys are just heading for a shipwreck.
Yeah.
So the individualism must be taken out for an embracing of oneness in every relationship, in marriage.
And when God made the institution of marriage, he made a bold statement, and in 1919 Jesus confirmed that same statement. He said, when a man shall leave his father and mother, and the two shall cleave together and shall become one. So what God has joined together, let no man put asunder. That includes the two of you that are married.
Exactly.
Most times when we say that, we are thinking about external factors alone. And that's true. External factors are one of the strongest hindrances or challenges that marriages face. But the people involved
Have the most
have the
fundamental
most role to play in not putting asunder. Because you can be, listen, even without marriage, people put asunder in their own personal life.
Yeah.
The things can be working well for them, and they will take their own hand and put sansan inside their own garden and eat it. How much more when it comes to two
Wait,
people?
why did you say sansan? Why is that Nigerians we say things double? Puff puff.
Sand in
Moi
their
moi.
own gari. I remember that interview. So if you go to America, how will you
talk?
stop?
You say, what was the thing she even said?
It's like, excuse me, good day.
How are you doing?
I better go. Anyways, back to what we're saying. So basically,
You use your hand to spoil something that's working out for you.
Working out for you. You know, so what you want to do is understand this concept of oneness. Now, oneness is not pairing.
Yeah.
Oneness is not this ear and this ear piece. That's a pair. That's not what oneness is in the eyes of God. Oneness is actually two becoming one. That is a fusion, not joining of or pairing.
Yeah.
A fusion. A simple example, analogy that can help you get this picture clear is tea. She's drinking a cup of tea. If you peep inside, have you finished?
I've finished.
If you peep inside this cup of tea when she was drinking it before now, you would notice that it was a combination of milk, Milo, and sugar.
Yeah.
But then when you look inside, what you see is tea.
Yeah, you cannot
You see milk, you can't see Milo, you can't see sugar standing on its own. And for you to separate them, you have to take a very strong scientific process to separate them. Because nothing is impossible. You can't separate the elements that are joined together. However, when you look at it, you don't see them standing individually again. You just see one. You see tea. They have birthed something new. That's the same thing about marriage.
Yeah.
When two of you come together, it is a birthing of something new.
Exactly.
One. So when God looks, he doesn't see two people again. He sees one person.
Exactly. Preach, pastor.
Yes, I'm going deeper. Yeah.
Go deeper, papa.
Yeah. So, this is one of the things that people need to understand about marriage. If you're dating, listen, if you're single and you're planning to one day get married, this is one of the things you must take seriously. This is why even choosing who you spend your life with, especially as a believer, is very important. Because you're not just coming together to cohabit.
Yeah.
You're coming to become one.
Yeah. You form something entirely
Something
new.
entirely new. It's a new creation.
Yeah.
Listen, the closest picture you have about the beauty of union is when you look at your child, a child when you give birth to. It's a combination of two of you.
Yeah. So, mommy cannot be separated from the child. Daddy cannot be separated.
Yes.
It is permanently inside one.
Inside one. So if you try to divorce, you have formed something new.
Yeah.
So that's one of the mysteries of marriage that a lot of people do not understand.
Yes.
And understanding that will save you a lot of stress, a lot of hiccups, a lot of challenges when you step into marriage. For example, how does this concept of oneness help? Just a few examples. Let's start from the area of conflict. If I understand that both of us are one, or understand the concept of oneness, we cannot stay fighting for too long. Only a madman fights with himself.
Exactly.
You see a madman always say, it's only a madman that fights with himself. So when you understand the concept of oneness, you can't stay angry with your spouse for too long. Because you know that, when people say better half, that's the idea. This one is what this one and one, not that they complete you, but my wholeness and our wholeness have formed a new whole. It's like one and one coming to form the number two.
Yeah.
So two is whole. But if you break any part of two, it no longer becomes two. So even though one and one formed two, two can be broken and it becomes half.
Yeah.
So it makes that wholeness to be affected.
Yeah.
So if I know that, I'm always quick to show mercy, because if I show mercy to my spouse, I'm showing mercy to myself. And if you're concerned about the person taking for granted, listen, if both of you have that mindset, nobody's taking the other for granted.
Yeah.
I've always tried to make peace. She's always trying to make peace. We're always living in peace.
Yeah, I think that what will even happen is that there will be sort of like a healthy competition as to how good each person is to the other person.
Yeah.
Because once we understand that, okay, this thing where, like, we're not different people.
Yeah.
We're the same. And so if one person is hurting, it means that the other person is hurting.
Yeah.
And so what that would do is that in any situation, what would be on my mind all the time is how I can do something to make this person happy.
Yes.
How this person is thinking constantly that, oh, I want to do something to make this person happy.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, it's going to birth like a healthy competition of trying to make each other feel happy, feel comfortable in the space that we have created. Because, like, I always wonder, I always say, how is it that you get married and then you take pride in that you can keep malice, like you guys can fight? Your house is supposed to be the safe place for you. Why were you rushing to leave your parents' house?
I don't know.
And then you are coming and you are still like, you are not happy all the time. There's no point. You would have just stayed in your parents' house.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's one of the major reasons, one of the major among so many things. There are other things. Talk about finances.
Yeah.
This is where your money is not your money and my money are my money, or my money is not, because there's now a better understanding that our success together, your success is now our success together.
Yeah.
Your failure is now our failure together. Our success is our success together.
Yeah.
Look at the things that happen in the country. Say one couple is involved in a scandal or something. The other part of the other person suffers.
Most definitely.
Suffers. The one in the scandal doesn't bear the consequence alone. People now start to throw shades at the spouse too. And that's one of the things about oneness. So whatever benefits the other person benefits you. Whatever the person affects the other person affects you. And this now shapes our mindset on how we do so many things, even our finances, even when it comes to things like sex, especially for people that are married. There's one age-long tradition that people had, especially women, but men do it too sometimes, where you want to punish your spouse with sex. Or you say, you have a deeper sense of empathy. Why are you laughing?
No, I remember something that we always used to hear before we got married, turning bum bum. Do you remember that statement? Like, oh, wives to turn bum bum for the husband, all of that.
That sense of empathy. Oh, this person is under pressure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I can do something about it, so that we all are fine, we all are happy. Person's happiness is my happiness.
Yeah.
And this is what keeps couples from one of the major things that oneness does is that it keeps couples from opening their marriage to the wrong influence.
Yeah.
Some people can stay in an environment where they are talking bad about their spouse, and you don't know that it is you that is, and you are involved in the thing. Listen, because when you listen,
people understand it.
when they finish condemning your spouse, they return to you.
Most definitely.
Don't mind that, Namu.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how it works. That's how it works. So the concept of oneness, it makes you to take the side of your spouse. This is where nobody, notwithstanding the whole family, cannot come and tear you apart.
Yeah.
There's one silly show we saw. That's my opinion. But you might be enjoying the show. There's one silly show we watch on TV. We saw once on TV how a sister is dating a guy, and then the other sister is struggling with space with the guy. She wants to give their child the name she wants, and not the name the husband wants to give. And then the other sister is considering it. Then it turned out that this other sister that was bringing the problem, she now had her own relationship. Then she refused her sister from getting involved. You see, so that's how people are. They are wicked. They will just come and destroy your own, then they want to preserve their own.
Exactly.
So, I mean, as much as you can, that sense of oneness, it shields, it guides the union, it helps strengthen. And listen, this becomes the motivation for every other thing, even communication, even pleasure. I mean, there are some people that can be really self-centered when it comes to marriage. My own.
It's all about what makes me happy.
Yes. Me. My name is Jimmy Gimme.
Oh my God.
I mean, that's all they talk about.
Jimmy.
Yeah, I heard it from Kenneth Higgins, not me that found it. But that's not how he said it, but I just twisted it,
Wow.
So oneness is the golden principle.
Yeah.
Once you know this, every decision you make in your union will be influenced by this mindset.
Yeah, because in the aspect of selfishness, you consider how does this thing I want to do that makes me feel so happy affect every other person in the in the equation. Thank you. So for your spouse, even for your children, because it's important, you must understand that even the oneness now births something new, like the child. And so all that you think about, I'm not saying that you now become selfish as to, oh, just my family and all of that, but you have to consider that it is a very important mindset to have, that it will now dictate or influence every decision that you make. So you find people saying, guy, I want to go out to meal with you, but then the guy has a he thinks about it and he says, oh, today I actually plan to do something with my wife. And then you can be bold enough to say, no guys, I plan to do something with my wife, I have to go home. Or no, today my son got his midterm from school and I promised him to play this evening, and so I go back home. So it will influence every decision that you have, because you know that your own decision on your own influences every other part that you love.
Yes, and this is why many people now come into marriage thinking they're still single. This will also prepare you that is trying to get married to know that, because even without thinking or making the effort, you have to know that once you get married, you're not alone.
You are not alone.
You're not alone. So you cannot live that life where you opt and leave when you want, go where you want, do whatever you want, say my own life. When God looks at all of you, he looks at one individual.
Yeah.
So he sees just one. That's why Adam and Eve were called Adam. Mankind. They were not called. It's Adam's. That name we call Adam is not Adam. It's not his name.
It's not like
it's not his name. He was never named. It's Adam, first man. So mankind is Adam. So Adam and Eve are both Adam. It's Adam that just called his wife Eve. So that, but so one kind, oneness.
Yeah.
Oneness.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's
golden principle.
The golden principle. And this also, can I just add this, this also reveals the mystery between your union with Christ.
Yeah.
Oneness. He's the head, you are the body. Oneness. That's why Paul says marriage reveals the mystery of you and Christ. As Christ is in heaven, so are you. You are one body with him. No wonder when Paul was persecuting the church, he said, why are you persecuting me? Because anything you do to any one of them, you're done to him. That's the same thing. Anything that's done to your wife, anything that's done to your husband is done to you.
Yeah.
Oneness. When you know this, in fact, for some people, this is arming you for your relationship, because people question why you are so close to your spouse, why you care about your spouse so much, why you take your spouse side so much like that. It's because you are now one. You are not two or separate entities. You are now one.
Yeah. And babe, this just reminded me of when we're planning to get married. People have many things to say about your spouse. Oh, why this person? Why didn't you pick somebody from, let's say, your tribe? Why not from your church? Oh, why not this? Why not that? The fact that you can even defend your spouse means you understand the concept of oneness. Because from that time, in fact, from when you start dating till you get married, you must understand that from that time, it's not just about the I do, the wedding dress, the tuxedo, whatever. It's about, as far as we have decided to come together, we are now one. You must see it as that. And then I think marriage, the avenue for sex in marriage now, I think it just gives it a stronger stamp. It legitimizes your oneness, that these people are now seen as one forever for life.
Yeah.
So even from the beginning, people may ask you, why are you always different? And we are not saying different person when the person is saying,
when the head is like spitaling.
The
hair one.
Same sense.
They have coconut head,
But oneness starts even from the dating phase, where you understand that this person, I've decided to be on the side of this person.
Yes.
Like, it's a choice you make. You don't just date just because you want to while away time. You want to learn new tricks about how the dating phase is right now. Maybe you have not dated in 3 years and you're like, it's 2021, let's just do something. No, when you decide to date, you are intentional about it, and you're intentional with even the future in view. And so if you cannot even start to practice the concept of oneness now, how do you think it's going to be when you're married? Do you think it's going to be easier? I don't know. So it's something to practice even from the dating phase. Like, it's very, very important. And I think for us, one of the things that helped us was we understood this. Even though, I don't know, we didn't really
in the broad sense of it.
We didn't really on that, but we just knew that, man, this person, I have his back, this person has my back. So it's very important.
Yeah, so with these few points of ours,
We hope we have been able to convince you and not confuse you about the golden principle of marriage and relationships.
Yeah.
Oneness.
Remember, say after me, oneness. I'm watching you. Angels are watching you. Say oneness. Say oneness.
Oneness.
I didn't say one name. I say oneness.
Baby, what did you drink today? Is your Fit Farm?
My Fit Farm juice now. Leave that. Anyways, leave that for another time. Thank you guys for your time.
Yeah.
Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, share our videos as much as possible.
Leave a comment.
Question, doubt, anything, and we'll do our best to respond as quick as possible to your messages when we see them. And until our next video, take care. We love you. Bye.